Gentlemen, let me ask you a question. Did you know that just 3 minutes a day can completely change your intimate health even after the age of 60? If you are a man over 50 or 60 and you have noticed a difference in your erections or your stamina, this is the one message you cannot afford to miss. For years, many men have believed that only pills or quick fixes could restore their confidence, but the truth is very different. Science has shown us that there is a natural way to strengthen your body, improve circulation, and reclaim the vitality you thought was gone forever. Today, I will share with you a simple routine that has helped many of my patients regain control and enjoy their relationships again. Before we begin, I want you to interact with me. If you have ever doubted yourself when your performance was not what you expected, type the number 1 in the comments right now. If you have never thought about it, simply press like so I know who is watching. I am Dr. Laura Bennett, a board-certified urologist, and for more than 15 years, I have worked side by side with men just like you, men who once felt strong and capable, but later discovered that age can bring unexpected changes to their confidence and health. In my clinic, I have treated thousands of patients, and one truth has become clear to me: a man's sense of identity and well-being is often closely tied to his sexual vitality. When that begins to shift, frustration and even embarrassment can take hold. Research tells us that nearly 70% of men over 60 experience some level of erectile difficulty, whether it is trouble getting an erection, maintaining it, or feeling the same strength they once enjoyed. This number is even higher in men who live with conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, or cardiovascular disease, and stress only makes the situation worse. Many men silently accept this decline as inevitable, or they turn immediately to medications without ever understanding the deeper cause. But here is the crucial point I want you to understand today. The decline in function is not just about age itself. It is the result of changes in blood vessels, nerves, and most importantly, the pelvic floor muscles that provide the hidden foundation for your intimate performance. Ignoring these muscles is like ignoring the frame of a house. Eventually, the structure weakens no matter how well you paint the walls. I want you to see that you are not broken, you are not alone, and there is a path forward. By focusing on the underlying systems rather than just chasing a quick fix, you can create genuine improvement that lasts for years. Many men fall into the same pattern of mistakes when they first notice changes in their erections or their stamina. The most common mistake is to assume that the problem is simply age and that nothing can be done. I hear this almost every week from patients who come to see me after years of silent struggle. They often tell me, "Doctor, I just thought this was what happens when you get older." That belief is not only untrue, it is dangerous because it convinces men to give up before they even try to improve. Another mistake is turning immediately to pills or supplements without ever considering lifestyle or muscle health. Medications can certainly help in the right context, but when used without medical guidance, they bring risks and they never address the root cause. In fact, I have seen men develop headaches, vision disturbances, and even heart complications from misusing drugs they purchased online. Let me give you an example. Robert, a 63-year-old retired teacher, came to my office feeling deeply discouraged. He had tried popular medications, but the side effects made him dizzy and anxious. Instead of feeling more confident, he felt trapped, embarrassed to be intimate with his wife, and worried that she would eventually give up on him. Robert had also developed another bad habit. He ignored his pelvic floor entirely. Like many men, he thought exercise meant lifting weights or jogging, but he never realized that the very muscles controlling blood flow and firmness were being neglected. The result was predictable. He experienced softer erections, dribbling after urination, and an overwhelming sense of failure. This kind of suffering is not just physical, it is emotional. I have watched proud, capable men withdraw from their relationships, avoid intimacy, and carry a secret shame that eats away at their identity. When you constantly worry about whether your body will respond, confidence disappears and anxiety takes its place. Partners may misinterpret the distance as a lack of love, when in truth it is fear of disappointment. These are the real costs of ignoring the problem or relying on the wrong solutions. Now I want to hear from you. Comment the number 2 below if you have ever thought pills were your only option. If you completely disagree with that idea, press like so I can see your perspective. Think of your body as a finely tuned machine. Every part works together, and when even one small component weakens, the entire system suffers. The pelvic floor muscles are one of those hidden components that most men never pay attention to. To help you picture this, imagine a water balloon. When you fill it with water, it expands, but if the knot at the top is weak, the water leaks out quickly. Your erection works in much the same way. Blood flows into the spongy tissue of the penis, but if the pelvic floor muscles are weak, the blood leaks out before you can achieve the firmness and duration you want. Strong pelvic floor muscles act like a strong knot, holding the blood inside and creating stability. Science supports this simple truth. In a clinical study published in the British Journal of Urology, over 70% of men who practiced targeted pelvic floor exercises for 3 months showed measurable improvement in erectile function. Another study linked stronger pelvic muscles not only to firmer erections, but also to improved urinary control and delayed ejaculation. These findings are powerful because they prove that something as basic as muscle training can outperform or complement medications when used consistently. To make this even clearer, let's use another analogy. Imagine you own a musical instrument. If the strings are loose and poorly tuned, no matter how skilled you are, the sound will be flat. By tightening and tuning the strings, the instrument responds with clarity and strength. Your nerves and blood vessels in the pelvic region respond the same way. When you strengthen and coordinate the muscles that support them, the signals are clearer, the blood flow is more efficient, and the performance is dramatically better. This is not abstract theory. It is basic physiology. Muscles that are exercised respond by becoming stronger, more coordinated, and more reliable. When you invest a few minutes each day in this specific set of muscles, you are essentially building the foundation for better erections, better bladder control, and better overall vitality. Now I want you to take a moment and reflect. If this analogy about the water balloon and the instrument makes sense to you, comment the word "strong" below. If you still feel unsure or want me to explain more deeply in another video, press like so I know to return to this topic in detail. Now that you understand the science, let me give you a practical step you can begin today. This is a short 3-minute daily routine designed to target your pelvic floor muscles and build strength quickly. The first step is what I call the slow hold. Gently contract the muscles you would use to stop urinating midstream. Lift them upward and hold the contraction for about 3 to 5 seconds. Then release fully for the same amount of time. Repeat this 10 to 12 times. This move builds endurance and helps you regain control over the muscles that directly affect blood flow. The second step is the quick flick. Here you contract and release rapidly, almost like flipping a light switch on and off. Continue for 1 full minute. This sharpens the reflexes needed to achieve firmness more quickly when you are aroused. The third step is the endurance hold. Contract the muscles and hold for as long as you comfortably can, starting with 10 seconds and gradually working up to longer times. Release completely, then repeat 3 or 4 times. Altogether, these steps take only 3 minutes, and they can be done while sitting at your desk, watching television, or even driving in your car. Let me share the story of Robert, the retired teacher I mentioned earlier. When he first began this simple routine, he doubted it could really work. But after just 2 weeks, he noticed a subtle change. His erections felt firmer, and he had better control during urination. By the 6th week, his wife commented that he seemed more confident and relaxed. That confidence grew with each passing month. Robert told me that for the first time in years, he no longer felt trapped by pills or embarrassed in the bedroom. His success proves that consistency, not complexity, is the secret. This is your short-term solution, something you can apply immediately and feel results in a matter of weeks. It costs nothing, requires no equipment, and gives you back a sense of control. All I ask is that you commit to trying it daily. 3 minutes may sound simple, but as Robert discovered, those minutes can change everything. Short-term solutions are powerful because they give you a quick win, but long-term change requires building a complete foundation. If you want results that last for years, not just weeks, you need to think of your health as a system with multiple pillars. The first pillar is daily pelvic floor training. Just like brushing your teeth, this must become a habit. Over time, those muscles respond by growing stronger and more reliable, and their effect carries into every aspect of your intimate life. If you neglect them for too long, progress fades. But with steady practice, you create a lifelong advantage. The second pillar is diet. Hormones like testosterone depend on the nutrients you put into your body. Men over 60 often eat less protein and fewer fresh vegetables than they should, and the result is lower energy and reduced vitality. Focus on lean proteins such as fish and chicken, omega-3. Rich foods like salmon and walnuts and leafy greens that support circulation. Avoiding excessive sugar and processed foods protects your blood vessels, and since erectile function is all about blood flow, this becomes a direct path to better performance. Think of food not just as calories, but as fuel for your masculinity. The third pillar is cardiovascular exercise. Walking, swimming, or cycling may not sound dramatic, but they are crucial because they condition the arteries that deliver blood everywhere in your body, including the most private areas. A man who walks briskly for 30 minutes 5 times a week often reports improvements not only in his stamina, but also in the quality of his erections. That is no coincidence. Strong circulation equals strong performance. The fourth pillar is recovery and stress management. Sleep is not optional. It is when your body produces hormones and repairs tissue. Without at least 7 hours of quality rest, testosterone declines and energy evaporates. Stress is equally destructive. When you are constantly tense, your body floods with cortisol, which blocks sexual hormones and restricts blood flow. Practices like meditation, deep breathing, or even spending quiet time outdoors lower stress and restore balance. Let me share another story to show how these pillars work together. John, a 68-year-old accountant, came to me after years of frustration. He had almost given up on intimacy, believing that his age had permanently closed that chapter of his life. We began with the 3-minute pelvic floor routine, but I also encouraged him to make small dietary changes and commit to regular walking. At first he was skeptical, but after a few weeks his energy began to shift. Within 3 months, his erections were firmer, and he felt more connected to his wife. By the 6-month mark, he had lost weight, regained stamina, and told me with a smile that his marriage felt renewed. His story is not unique. It is what happens when men stop searching for one miracle fix and instead build a lifestyle that supports every part of their health. This is the lesson I want you to take away. Pills may create a temporary effect, but when you strengthen the muscles, feed your body, the right nutrients train your heart and vessels, and manage stress, the results are far more profound. Each pillar reinforces the others, creating a synergy that no single action can achieve alone. Think of it as building a house with a strong frame, durable walls, and a solid roof. You do not rely on one piece. You create stability through the whole structure. That is how long-term vitality is secured. Gentlemen, let us bring everything together. You have learned that just 3 minutes of focused exercise each day can strengthen the very muscles that support your erections, restore your control, and improve your confidence. You have also seen that lasting success comes not from a single trick, but from a balanced system that includes nutrition, cardiovascular health, and proper rest. These steps are not complicated, but they require commitment, and that commitment is what separates men who continue to struggle from those who thrive well into their 60s, 70s, and beyond. I want you to feel inspired rather than overwhelmed. Think of this as an opportunity to take back control over your body and your relationships. You do not have to accept decline as inevitable. You can decide today to take a small but powerful step. Here is my challenge to you. Practice the 3-minute routine every day for the next 7 days. At the end of the week, return here and share your results. Did you feel a change? Did your confidence shift even a little? Comment the number 3 below if you are willing to start this challenge today. If you find this message valuable, please like the video and make sure to subscribe so you never miss the guidance you deserve. Remember, this video is for educational purposes only and not a substitute for professional medical advice. If you experience persistent or painful symptoms, consult your physician. Gentlemen, your health is your greatest strength. Invest in it, protect it, and carry it with pride into every chapter of your life.